Good morning. My name's Marg Murphy and I'm an astrologer making this video for you today from the Red Heart Centre of Australia, and I'm walking on Aranda country. The Aranda people are the traditional custodians who've cared for, nurtured, sung and danced this country for thousands of years so that we can enjoy it today. So before I begin my astrological story, I'd just like to give thanks to those people for holding this land so that it can hold us today. I came down here at dawn to watch the sunrise, and I wanted to make this film for you out in nature, in a sacred place. So I'm actually at a very sacred women's site where there's water and rocks, and it's really beautiful, and I'm on my own except for a few rock wallabies up there. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about Black Moon Lilith at the Galactic Centre. So, Galactic Centre, there's a huge big cauldron, astrological, alchemical cauldron that's cooking at the moment, and there's a lot of things going on up there in the sky. Black Moon Lilith has danced in to join the ceremony, but there's a lot of other energy up there too. So we're just going to take things one bit at a time, one part of the story at a time. I might find a rock to sit on. So the Galactic Centre was discovered, it's at about 27 degrees of Sagittarius, and it was discovered on the 13th of February 1974 by the Western scientists. Lilith at that time was at 16 degrees of Capricorn. Just a little interesting aside, because that's where Pluto is now. Anyway, so 1974, not that long ago, but of course that part of the sky, that galactic centre, that big black hole that our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, Araqua in Aranda, rotates around. Aboriginal people of this country have known that point in the sky and have known that movement for at least 70,000 years. How do we know that? We know that because they have Dreamtime stories connected with that part of the sky. And I think that's really beautiful and really special. So the story is that it's a place of ceremony, a place of deep and sacred ceremony, where both men and women gather to dance. Now, in many stories there's women's business and men's business, but at this place it's men and women gathering to dance. I really love that image, and I think that it holds a strong message for us at this particular time that we'll get back to. Yeah, so Black Moon Lilith has danced into that point of the zodiac, to that great black hole, to the Galactic Centre, and she's been there in her mean mode for about 2 weeks now, and we've all been feeling it. You all probably are aware that Black Moon Lilith is the shadow point of the Earth in the Moon's elliptic movement around the Earth. And so for me, the way I work with her is that she represents a shadow point in our own personal charts, a place where we might exile ourselves from our true centre. And she's also, for me, representative of our collective shadow. So the collective shadow, the personal shadow, is really coming out to have us look at it very closely at the moment. Just a little bit on the mean and the true. I chose this moment to make the film because at this moment true Black Moon Lilith is also at 27 degrees of Sagittarius. So both ways of measuring her have come together in the one place. A lot of people work with the mean Lilith, and with that way of measuring, she moves progressively forward in the zodiac. I work with the true Lilith, Well, I work with both, but I really like the true Lilith because you can't contain her. She oscillates and she goes forward, gives us a taste of something, comes back for us to reflect on it. And she can be up to 30 degrees away from the mean measurement. So she actually traverses 3 signs at once. In a couple of days, she's going to be stepping into Capricorn, and that will become part of the talk as well. So Black Moon Lilith is a shadow point. She's the part of us that we've exiled, and she's coming back now. Because she's at that very potent part of the zodiac, she's really rising. And she's there with Saturn. Saturn's moved backwards a few degrees now, but they were there together a couple of weeks ago. And I think that's really interesting as well. Let's put Saturn in the cauldron. Saturn is Kronos, the great Lord of time and the Lord of karma. And many see Saturn as representative of the patriarchy. Okay, so Black Moon Lilith exiled herself from Mother Earth, exiled herself from Gaia 6,000 years ago. And in that time, the patriarchy has taken root and grown and taken us off on a particular direction. A direction where we have put our shadow away and ignored it, ignored those parts of ourselves and those parts of us as a collective. And so in many ways I see the shadow represented so strongly at the moment, out there in the globe, out there across the globe, the mundane world. Look at our political systems, look at our systems of governance, look at our mass media. All of these things are expressions of our global shadow and really need to change. So with Black Moon Lilith at the centre, we've got this rise now, we've got this urge now, we've got this deep, deep movement of the deep, dark, feminine archetype, the primal feminine, coming back and coming into consciousness. We really need this. We really need this because if we don't start to face and accept the feminine, then we're really lost. And, you know, look at climate change. So I've been doing my own really deep work on this and finding it really challenging. The patriarchy is not men. The patriarchy is the masculine, and it's become the distorted masculine. Of course it's distorted and skewed because the deep feminine has been in exile. And the deep feminine chose to go in exile. So we're all a part of this story, and we all have to bring this back together. So I'm looking at Saturn up there now, not as not in the negative way of, you know, patriarchy and the evil male or the evil masculine, or I'm looking at Saturn as providing boundaries and helping us to hold the energy that Lilith is exposing to us. And because what Lilith is exposing is really deep and rough and raw. Out there in the mass media at the moment with the Me Too campaign. Yeah, Me Too. So that's great. That's opening a huge dialogue. That's all of us owning a deep shadow, a deep wound. There are many, many old myths and cosmological stories that talk about the rape of women and being a metaphor for the rape of the earth. So I want to leave leave the Me Too campaign away from this talk because there are many, many, many other people that are writing really well and really succinctly about that particular aspect of Black Moon Lilith at the moment. I did see one post yesterday on Patricia Walsh's page, a wonderful evolutionary astrologer, and it was "Me too," said Mother Earth, and that's what we need to really get to. So with the theme of Aranda country being strong for me, I want to also let you know that Black Moon Lilith, represented in all cultures, all mythologies, all cosmologies, different names, same energy. She, of course, is also held in story by the Aranda people, and her story is something like this. If you are not walking your true path, if you are not walking gently on this earth, if you are not singing up country and dancing up country and being authentic to your calling, then she will come and kidnap you. She will just take you off your path completely, remove you from wherever you are, and take you out into the wilderness. Remember that Lilith is the goddess of the wilderness and wild beasts. So the Aranda version is that she kidnaps you, takes you deep out into the wild country, which here is the desert, not an easy place to survive, and leaves you there. And she can leave you there for months on end. She does that so that you will really begin to connect with the pulse, with the beating heart of country. And when you have connected with the deep pulse and the deep heart of country, then you're connecting with your own beating heart. You're recognizing where you went off the track, what you buried, and facing it, owning it. And at that point, she brings you back. She brings you back to daily life. I think that's a really beautiful image for us to take from this story today about Black Moon Lilith. I wanted to just move a little bit further along with the incredible influence of the Aboriginal people of this country. You realise that it's the oldest continuous culture in the world, 70,000 years at least. So Aboriginal people have a practice called Dadiri, D-A-D-I-R-R-I, and I spell that out for you because you can go and watch a beautiful little clip on YouTube by one of the Aboriginal elders who's decided to share this practice with the world at this time because it's so potent and powerful and needed. So Dadiri is a practice of going out into nature, like I am here today. And it's about, I think it translates most easily into English as listen deeply. So Dadiri and Black Moon Lilith rules this for Aboriginal people in the name that she has in Aranda, which I can't say. So she takes people out, she asks us to go out into country, out into nature, and to listen deeply. And that means listen with your whole being. Listen with every fibre of your being and your soul and your heart. So, yeah, what can you hear? But what can you hear on the inside? What can you hear coming from Mother Earth? What can you see? What can you smell? What can you taste? And what can you touch? It's a way of tuning in to the really deep, powerful healing that the earth can offer us. So Dadiri is about developing a sensuous, intimate relationship with nature. Intimate relationship with nature means really acknowledging that we're part of this chain, we're part of this network, we're part of this big worldwide web, the worldwide web of cosmological beings, ancestral beings, Mother Earth, the creatures and plants that share this place with us. If we can truly develop an intimate relationship with nature and feel the pulse and the heart, then we will automatically have a deeper respect and a connection, and recognize our connection not just with Mother Earth, but with all beings that walk on this earth, with our partners, with our companions, with our friends and with our family, with the collective. We need to start getting to truth and authenticity and integrity. And Indigenous people from all around the world have been known this forever, but have been bringing this story more widely to the world and to all of us, loudly. And Lilith at the Galactic Centre is letting us know this, that we can receive healing by coming out onto Mother Earth. And we can receive healing by making this a daily practice or a regular practice, by tuning in and really coming to understand what intimacy really is. When we've got this intimacy and this trust with our mother, then we can really open up to trust and intimacy with our partners and have real authentic relationship, not exiling parts of ourselves, bringing our whole self into the equation. Yeah, so Dadiri, a really beautiful thing to do. And if you don't live in a place where you can go out to country, you live in a city or a suburb, you can still find a tree and lean in to the ancestral spirits that live within that tree. So I wanted to bring that to you. I think for me that's the really important thing about Black Moon Lilith, is bringing it really into our bodies, not the mind. We have to bring this experience of owning our shadow through our body. We have to make it somatic. And I think that that's also what we're learning from Lilith being up there at the Galactic Centre with the ancestral creator beings, dancing, moving the wisdom through our body. We have to embrace it in every cell. So that's one big part of this alchemical cauldron that we're in. We've got Saturn, recognizing that as the patriarchal figure, he also has his feminine side. And we'll notice that more when Saturn moves into Capricorn in a couple of months. A deep female, feminine, cardinal earth sign, Capricorn. We'll talk about that a little bit later with Black Moon Lilith going in there very soon. So, stumbling on the rocks here. What else have we got up there? Well, Saturn and Lilith, they're in Sagittarius, and we know that Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter has just in the last few days gone into Scorpio. Well, hasn't that had a huge impact? Really, what's Jupiter in Scorpio telling us? Get real. Get real and really dig down. Another story about facing the truth, facing the dark truth that we block away. Socially, culturally, we just push that to the side and keep moving forward on some trajectory that's not working anymore. And that's what the sky stories are telling us. It's not working. Scorpio is a deep transformational energy, and Jupiter's up there supporting us to move through this transformation. Everything's going to seem really big and dark for a while. Black Moon Lilith's, come on, get real. Saturn's helping us to face that as well. And Jupiter is saying we're going on a big journey for the next 12, 13 months where we really have to face the truth and we really have to dig down. And we do that for ourselves through Dadari and other practices, but we do it through the collective by facing the truth and changing the stories, looking at transforming, owning our own part of it. Every single one of us has been a part of this wounding of Mother Earth and wounding of each other and wounding of ourselves. So Jupiter has a really big role to play, and we're all going to be feeling it even more over the next few months as it gets closer and closer to the midpoints. Midpoints are really powerful, midpoints of a sign. There's more in the cauldron. There's Chiron in Pisces. Chiron's also, Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter in the ancient medieval way of looking at the world, looking at the sky. So connected again. So the Jupiter moving into Scorpio is also making us look again at the Chiron in Pisces. You know, Chiron's been there for quite a few years now, and there's this urgency around the latter degrees of a sign. So we're feeling it so intensely at the moment around the globe. So Chiron is at 25, 26 of Pisces, looking over there and also watching the dance at the Galactic Centre. Lilith is inviting these energies into the dance. So for me, Chiron is about changing the story. The wound is being exposed. We need to change the story. We need to change the way we tell the story, our own personal stories, and so that we can change the way we move forward. Because the way we've been going, it's not working. That's pretty obvious to all of us. So yeah, look at Chiron. Let Chiron, you know, watch Lilith. Let Lilith watch Chiron. They're working up some brew together as well and shaping a new story for us. We have to consciously own it though. That's the Jupiter in Scorp. We've got to really consciously own the story. Another part of the cauldron is Mars, opposite Chiron in Virgo. So we recently had the Venus-Mars conjunction there. Venus has moved on, paving a new way, looking for some balance and harmony, but Mars is still there in Virgo. Lilith can see Mars, and Lilith can see Chiron, and they're all looking at each other and saying, okay, we're in this dance together. How are we going to change it? Mars, masculine, not to be done. Where's our anger? How have we been getting what we want? Has it been in a true and authentic way? Or have we just been bulldozing through life and taking what we want and forcing other people to be a part of our story or to join us in a story that's not really honouring our truth and the truth of Mother Earth? These are all the stories that I think are going on in the alchemical cauldron right now. How do we own our shadow? How do we work through all of this stuff? Well, we know the practice of datteri. We know about going out into nature and meditating and feeling at one with nature. We need to develop that intimacy and that sensuous relationship, bring it back to our daily lives. But we also need to honour the trauma and the grief that we all have, that we've all experienced, that many of us are still experiencing right now. So when we go through traumatic experiences, parts of us splinter off and fall into the shadow. We don't look at it. So it's time to do that soul retrieval work. It's time to really go through deep trauma healing work, all of us individually, and acknowledging it and speaking about it and letting other people share and know that we are doing the work and inviting people into that dance. I think it's really, really powerful and really important, and I think we've all got really hard work to do, because we're going to have the dance, the cauldron's going to shift, and we're all going to be in Capricorn. We're going to be checking out the energies of Capricorn. Well, Pluto's been there for quite a few years, and we've seen the slow dismantling and the rage that's been coming up around the systems that we've created, world governance, local governance and systems within organisations, education systems. It all needs to really shake up. Really important. Lilith's going to be there on, I think it's tomorrow, 19th, 20th, depending on which hemisphere you're in. True Lilith steps into Capricorn. There'll be a really powerful moment when she gets to 16, the point she was at when the Galactic Centre was discovered, and meets up with Pluto, who's there now. So there's also going to be this shift with Saturn moving into Capricorn, and eventually the South Node is going to move into Capricorn. So we're going to have this moment in about a year's time where we have Black Moon Lilith, Pluto, Saturn and the South Node all dancing together in Capricorn. How are we going to be part of that dance? In evolutionary astrology, all of those points are points of transformation, points where we can really own the darkness and bring it into the light. And I'm putting Black Moon Lilith into that cauldron. I see her as equal to those energies in terms of transformation of and evolution of consciousness for all of us, so that we can move to a new paradigm. And I guess that's why you're all part of this collective. So I think just making it conscious can really help us to work with it in its positive way. You can go check your ephemerides, you can read the ephemeris if that's what you really need to do, or you can just tune in to the really deep energy. Where is Black Moon Lilith in your chart? What stories does she tell? How have you exiled yourself, and how do you come dancing back into your true being? Capricorn, collective. So we're in the collective signs of the zodiac now with these stories. Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Capricorn is often part of a story that comes up as the dark night of the soul, the deep dark night of the soul, and can bring a lot of fear. Saturn's going to move in there, and we might feel fearful, and there might be things that are going on out there that are really quite disturbing and distressing. And I do think that collectively we will be moving through the dark night of the soul. But that means that we're moving through it for transformational reasons, to get us all collectively to the next level. So really, I feel that we've got hard work to do. We've got work to do where to get us through whole and safe to this place next December where it's going to be really deep. And so do the work. Be connecting with Mother Earth. Be connecting with the energy of Black Moon Lilith, because she holds us. She is the primal, deep, feminine archetype that holds us, and we need to embrace her. We personally and we collectively. So powerful, so important at this time. And really work consciously, because come December next year, there's going to be a huge time where we face things as a collective. She'll move on, of course, into Aquarius. So the eclipse in the January, she's already there at Aquarius, showing us how we really can be one big global community in a new paradigm. Yeah, so I think that kind of wraps it up. Black Moon Lilith at the Galactic Centre, dancing. That's the important thing to hold on to, that physical somatic experience, true intimacy, true touch, true authentic integrity of healing and connection. Bringing the feminine back for all of us. We've all been exiled from that, every one of us. So it's not a blame game, it's an owning of our truth. And so dance, Dance with Black Moon Lilith at the Galactic Centre. Dance the energy, dance the healing energy through your body. Get in touch with eco-psychology. That's, I think, Lilith's domain in the 21st century and at this point in time. Yeah, so really lovely to have shared a little bit of my view with you. I hope you can take something home and ponder. And if you feel that you would like to do some work with all of this stuff in a somatic cauldron, like moving it through our bodies, not just having it as a talk fest, then you might like to join me at an Astro Camp down here in the Red Heart Centre of Australia in April of next year, 2018, or in the Sahara Desert in September of 2018, or in the desert of Rajasthan in India in October of 2018. I find that Black Moon Lilith comes to me very strongly in deserts, so that's my calling. If that interests you at all, you can contact me at astromarg@gmail.com. Okay, so I guess I'll close this off now, and Black Moon Lilith, dancing blessings to all of you. Namaste.